The number one thing that I changed to finally overcome yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, binge eating, all of which are related. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Vivian, but you can call me Viv, and I struggled with yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, binge eating, overeating, all of that for over 10 years. So I would be very restrictive. I'd eat 500 to 800 calories a day, literally starve myself, which would inevitably lead me to binge eat thousands of calories. Like I'm talking 4,000 or 5,000 calories in a day easily. So I would go on this yo-yo dieting cycle where I would lose and gain the same 30 pounds. And it took such a toll on not just my physical health, but my mental health. And if you've ever been in this cycle, you know the hold that it takes on your entire life. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the one thing that I changed that helped me finally overcome that yo-yo dieting, emotional binge eating cycle. So if you have ever been on this cycle, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you will do so good in your mind, and then you will just eat everything and anything that's put in front of you that you consider off limits or junk food. And so I was no stranger to tracking my calories. You probably aren't either if you've ever been on a weight loss journey. I'm sure you've tracked your calories before or tracked your food. But what I didn't do was whenever I would binge eat, I would not track it. Absolutely not. I did not want to see the calories that I was eating when I was stuffing my face. I did not want to look at that. What I would do is basically eat so quickly so that I could trick myself into thinking that it didn't happen. But obviously, when you put those things in your body, when I was eating them, those calories count. Those calories totally count. It's not like your body just registers, oh, we didn't track it, so it doesn't exist. We like to trick our minds into thinking that, but physically, those calories count. And so every time I would binge or overeat, I would stop tracking. I would stop holding myself accountable. So what I realized was that I needed to hold myself accountable no matter what. This was no longer a on-off diet. I was either good or bad. No, I had to change my mindset into understanding that this truly was a lifestyle. Every day, every meal, it all counts. It's all just life. It's not being on a diet and then being off a diet. So what I changed was that I no longer was willing to not hold myself accountable to what I was doing. So I wouldn't just track when I was eating healthy. I would track no matter what. Even when I knew I was binging or overeating or emotional eating, I tracked it. And what really helped was that I tracked it before I even ate it. And I set that as a rule for myself that I was going to track what I ate before I ate it, even if I knew it was unhealthy or super high in calories, because I wanted to give myself the chance to take a pause and really decide if this was something that I consciously wanted to do. So because I set the rule that I was going to track what I was eating before I ate it, it gave me a chance to look at, okay, I am about to emotionally eat, all right? And I recognize that and I'm aware of that, and I'm going to take this time to pause and decide whether or not that's actually something that I wanted to do. And a lot of times I would allow myself, and that was a big part of it as well, where I didn't try to stop myself. I would allow myself, hey, you know what? I feel like emotionally eating right now, or I feel like overeating on junk food, and I would allow myself to do that. And part of the healing process was just becoming friends with the entire process itself. I stopped trying to fight myself so hard, because if you've ever been through this, you know that you try to fight yourself so hard, and all it does is it makes you want to binge and overeat more. But you know what I noticed is that when I actually allowed myself to indulge in those foods, I actually wouldn't eat as much as I normally would have when I tried to restrict myself. So it was really counterintuitive, but instead of trying to work against myself, when I noticed I would want to emotionally eat or just eat not out of physical hunger, but because I was bored or stressed, I would let myself. I would totally let myself. But again, I was pausing, tracking it, allowing myself to see that I was in the cycle, and then consciously choosing, you know what? I know right now that I'm going to eat, not out of physical hunger, but out of emotional hunger. And I am consciously choosing that, and I'm allowing it to be okay. And again, funny enough, because I paused and then I consciously stated that I was going to allow myself to do this, I wouldn't even eat normally as much as I would have. And so I was in a more calm and poised state. And because I was coming from a calm state, I was actually able to control my binge eating impulses so much better. And there's a lot of fear that I had around allowing myself to emotionally eat because I had weight loss goals and I had fat loss goals, and I thought that it would ruin those. But again, funny enough, when I allowed myself to actually do it and be in this calm, conscious, aware state, again, I wouldn't eat nearly as many calories as I would have, and it actually made my weight loss journey a lot easier and a lot more smoother. So I know this sounds counterintuitive to consciously choose to emotionally eat, but there is magic that happens when you stop fighting against yourself and you stop forcing yourself to eat super healthy all the time, and you actually just allow yourself to indulge in your cravings, even if you know you are stress eating or bored eating or emotionally eating. When you allow yourself to actually partake in that process, you allow yourself to relax, you allow yourself to calm down. You can actually enjoy the food because you're not scarfing it down out of guilt. And because you're not scarfing it down out of guilt and you're able to enjoy every bite, eat slowly, you end up not overeating as much as you think you would, which again, ultimately helps you reach your weight loss goal quicker in comparison to when you are fighting yourself so hard and you're forcing yourself to eat healthy, which only leads to such a huge binge that completely throws your weight loss goals off course. Again, this sounds counterintuitive, but it changed my life. It changed my life. And I'm sitting here today in the best shape of my life. And I was only able to get here once I started becoming friends with my emotional eating habits. And I stopped shaming myself for it. I stopped fighting against it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to consciously choose this because that's what I feel like right now. And again, it would actually help me stick to my calorie goal better because I wouldn't even eat as much as I normally would have when I try to force myself to stick to my calorie goal and eat super, super healthy. So if you are currently in this cycle and you can relate to what I'm saying, I really want to encourage you to start allowing yourself to indulge in those foods that you think are off limits. Track it. Hold yourself accountable. Allow yourself to go over your calorie goal. Allow yourself to emotionally eat and really just take the time when you are eating those foods to slow down and enjoy every bite. Because when you start allowing yourself to do these things, you will notice that you are a lot more calmer and relaxed, which inevitably leads you to emotionally eat a lot less. And ultimately will help you get to your weight loss goal quicker. So I hope that you found this video helpful. This took me over 10 years to discover and to stop fighting against myself. And again, I know it sounds so counterintuitive, but I am telling you right now that it completely changed my life. And again, I've never been in as good of shape as I am today, where I have really made friends with my emotional overeating habits, which has led me to emotional and binge and overeat so much less. Now, if you want to work with me for one-on-one nutrition and fitness coaching, then please visit www.teamevolve.co and submit an application. I will reach out to you directly. You can also follow me on Instagram at Vivian No, and you can also follow me on TikTok at Vivian No with an underscore at the end. I post nutrition, fitness, fat loss, and mindset tips. So if you want to see any of that, go ahead and follow me on my social medias. And if you want to see additional emotional eating videos from me and other tips that have helped me overcome it, then go ahead and click this video right here. Otherwise, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.